Benzema down there with the referee going through the final 3 preliminaries. So like you back home, I'm going to settle back and enjoy full live commentary here on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. The UEFA Champions League, Celtic against Real Madrid. It sounds special. It may well be very special. With Pat Bonner and Liam McLeod.
Just pure theatre, unadulterated theatre in Glasgow's East End. As Celtic return to the Champions League, the banner over in the safe standing section said back with a bang. Yes, indeed, they are back with a bang. Are Scotland's champions as they take on the Champions League winners themselves. Nobody has won this competition more often than Real Madrid, who Celtic pit their wits against this evening here as the smoke billows across the stadium, floodlights are on, daylight fading in the skies above Glasgow, and it will be Real Madrid who'll kick off. They go right to left wearing their change colours of all black, Celtic in their green and white hoops as they return to European football's top table. They'll go left to right, shooting towards the Lisbon Lions stand end of the stadium, and we're underway here, bang on 8 o'clock, as it's nicked out to this near side for Mendy. It goes back to the Austria international captain Alaba, who turns it back to Courtois, who under pressure from Giakoumakis puts it into touch for a throw-in over on this near side. Celtic have begun matches so brilliantly this season, very different test, but they're aiming to do it so here, and O'Reilly puts it in. Abada! Oh! And it goes past Courtois. It's got a touch on that, and it's gone behind by the corner. Abada right in the penalty spot, shot at goal. It stays nothing each, but Celtic with an effort in earnest in the opening minute.
What a save, by the way, and it was a great build-up from Celtic. Abada really got hold of it, and Courtois had to get down really smartly to his left-hand side to keep that one out. The start exactly what Celtic won, and not what Ancelotti was looking for, I've got to say. It was a poor pass back from Alaba early on in this game to put Courtois under pressure to kick it out, and Celtic just opened up the legs and got an unbelievable chance. And here now to get their first corner.
Celtic corner to be taken on that left-hand side. It was Greg Taylor's cross cut out. Celtic have their second corner. We're barely into the second minute. Up against the European champions. And over on that far side is Matt O'Reilly. Out-swinging corner coming up. There's a plethora of players around the penalty spot. One is Jens, just evades him, and it eventually rolls back to Thibaut Courtois, who then bowls it, monstrous throw into the Celtic half. Underneath it there's Juranovic though, cushion header out to Jota, wide on that left-hand side, and back it comes to Hatate. Blanche Postecoglou said they were going to have a go, and Abada coming so close to giving Celtic a sensational lead inside the opening 40 seconds here.
Yeah, but from that corner, Courtois almost bowls that ball about 40 yards up the pitch to put Valverde on the chase, and that's something that they've got to be really careful with, that they don't get caught on the counter-attack.
Mendy clears up to Tony Kroos, World Cup winner, multiple Champions League winner as Vinny Jr. got the winner in last season's final against Liverpool. Tips it all the way back to his goalkeeper before it's played short out there to Eder Militao, the Brazilian, and then rolled along the 18-yard line. It is picked up here by Tchouameni, who's the young Frenchman who's made such an impression in the infancy of his Real Madrid career. As it comes back to the edge of the box for Militao. Now Tchouameni, who replaced Casemiro in the Real Madrid midfield, with the latter now off to Manchester United as it's turned back to Alaba at the edge of his own box. Low ball back to Courtois, who knocks it with the left foot to the right of the centre circle for Militao. To Tchouameni, forward it comes to the ever-impressive Modric, who helps it on its way out wide right. Chance for Valverde to stretch his legs, the Uruguayan to the right-hand side of the box, looking for Benzema in the middle, cut out by Carter Vickers, who clears out to that far side, where Dani Carvajal will try and keep it in play over there, but he's been ransacked. Jota wins it back with Giakoumakis, but only momentarily, because it's now at the feet of Militao, and he goes back to Courtois. 0-0, 3 breathless minutes in here in Glasgow as Alaba plays it short to Kroos at the edge of his own box. He was under duress as well as it's moved out to Ferland Mendy on this near side. Short ball to Vinny Jr, runs into Juranovic but gets the break of the ball, and now he's driving towards the Celtic box. There he goes, he's into it now, he's away from Juranovic. Carter Vickers helps out, Juranovic brings Vinny Jr down just about level with the edge of the Celtic 6-yard box, left hand side. of the penalty area here. It was from behind, no question it's a free kick, and Celtic's defence will have their first true test against the Champions League holders. 0-0, 4 in.
Yeah, he didn't have to go to ground, Juranovic, on that occasion. It was just a rush of blood, really, and gives away a free kick in a very dangerous position out in this sort of almost Real Madrid's left-hand side, the left wing, and Toni Kroos over the ball. Quality that we know that he has, and now they have got to really concentrate and defend.
Fabulous player, Toni Kroos, German international, as the Swiss referee Sandro Schäfer tries to sort out a collision inside the box, just speaking to a couple of the players. And he wants a word, I think, with Moritz Jens here by the looks of things. He's in for Karl Starfelt tonight for Celtic. 4.5 minutes in the first nervy moment here for the Celtic supporters as Toni Kroos waits, hands on hips, left-hand side of the Celtic box.
Edge of the box, Liam, just looking at Modric, sitting outside it.
In a good position here, Luka Modric. Bit of movement in the box, Kroos does dink it into the area. In fact, he's moved it out to Valverde, right-hand side of the D, and it comes looking for Alaba, flicked away by Giakoumakis, and then the clearance completed by Abada. Modric, though. Now it's with Mendy getting it from Kroos to Modric. Now it comes back to Carvajal, and he goes all the way back to Thibaut Courtois. 5 in, 0-0. As the big Belgian Courtois clears with the left foot, flicked on well by Alaba there. Vinicius Junior's in behind him. So's Carter Vickers, though, and he rolls it back to Joe Hart, who played plenty in this tournament with Manchester City in particular, as Carter Vickers sells Juranovic short with a pass on this near side, and it comes off Kroos and out for a Celtic throw-in. Just almost at the midway point of their own half here. Celtic 0, Real 0.
Yeah, you can look at Real Madrid, and their intent is to try to control the game from the back, just building the game up slowly and then playing through Celtic's press. Oh, what a good ball from Hatate.
He's fired it out to Jota wide in the left, and now they're flooding forward in green and white hoops. Here comes Jota up against Valverde, looking for the overlapping Taylor, but he passes it straight to Carvajal, who works a 1-2 with Valverde, and it's moved back to Modric just inside his own penalty area here. As you heard earlier, as he flicks it nonchalantly across his own 6-yard line with the outside of his boot, he celebrates his 37th birthday on Friday's Luka Modric. It's picked up by Militao and deep inside his own penalty area as he rolls it out to Carvajal on that right, and infield it comes to Modric. 6.5 in, nothing each. Modric across halfway as he flicks it with the outside of the boot to the right for Valverde. Leaves it for Carvajal on the far side, midway inside Celtic territory, but it's rolled back the way to Tchouameni, who finds Modric. He's short with the pass, would you believe? McGregor gets back onto it for Celtic, but his touch takes it straight through to Militao, who sweeps it right to left of the centre circle for Kroos, who flicks it into the Celtic half for Benzema, the Real Madrid skipper. And now it's with, on the far side, Militao, who finds Modric. Out to that right-hand side, Carvajal to Benzema, to Valverde, back to Carvajal. A few yards from the far side touchline in front of the north stand. Real Madrid attacking the Jockstein stand end of the stadium, the west end of Celtic Park. We're on the same side as the dugouts here in the main stand. Ange Postecoglou and Carlo Ancelotti down below us. Ancelotti is the only manager to win all 5 of Europe's big leagues and multiple titles as well, as the cross comes in from the right from Carvajal, knocked away by Jens and picked up by Modric on the far side. Onto the chest of Carvajal ahead of him. He decides to twist it back to Modric. Infield into the middle it goes, but a misunderstanding with Tchouameni, but it breaks to Kroos, who plays it short to Militao. 0-0, 7.5 in.
Yeah, good control from Real Madrid. Every single player looking for the ball. They do what actually Celtic do to most teams, getting a hold of the ball, passing it around, not letting Celtic get any possession whatsoever. And this is a different type of game for Celtic today. They will have to, there'll be long spells where they'll have to be chasing the ball, and can they do it as a unit to really deny Real Madrid any opportunities, because they are the ones in control at the moment.
So many acts of escapology last season. Harry Houdini would adopt his cap, what Real Madrid did on their way through the knockout stages of this competition. As Celtic pick up with Jota on the far side, gets the low ball nicked away from him by Carvajal, though. His experience of playing in La Liga, Jota had a loan spell in Spain the season before last when he was still in the books at Benfica. He's now a full-time Celtic player as Mendy moves it infield to Vinny Junior, who's out-muscled by McGregor. He wants the free kick, he's not getting one. Giakoumakis back to McGregor, he fires it forward looking for Abada, and it goes to Alaba, And he moves it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Real Madrid coming very close if you're joining us late to giving Celtic an incredible lead inside the opening minute of the game. So his effort brilliantly saved by Thibaut Courtois as the free kick goes against Mendy, against Giakoumakis down on this near side. McGregor wanted to take it quickly, but the Swiss official wants to make sure Giakoumakis is okay, he's not back on his feet, and indeed a yellow card's just been shown to Ferland Mendy.
Yeah, I didn't see much in it, to be perfectly honest. He's gone down. I think it was coming together more than anything else, but Mendy goes into the referee's book, gets the yellow card, and that might have consequences for him later in this game. But Real Madrid started off, as I would have expected, really trying to control the game, taking the heat out of Celtic's real intensity at the start of this game. So they just got to keep good possession now and not give it away, or otherwise, again, they've given away a couple of times
in the midfield.
Yeah, and that doesn't do them any good, because this team will keep possession. They will work their way through, and Celtic then will have a problem trying to get it off them.
Close to Mendy, who comes forward looking for Benzema, cut out. McGregor finds Jens, and now it's Hatate midway inside his own half. Firing it out to Jota, controls the bouncing ball in the chest, rolls it back to Taylor, who goes back to Moritz Jens. 10 in, 0-0. It's Callum McGregor, and he shifts it out to this near side for Juranovic. He's in the Real Madrid half. He's now driving forward, moves it infield to O'Reilly. O'Reilly back to Juranovic. Eventually falls to Abada, who I think was the original target of the pass. As McGregor gets it and exchanges passes with Taylor, who's come into that central area. McGregor to O'Reilly to Hatate. Brilliantly worked. Giakoumakis couldn't quite get goal side of Alaba though, and it's brilliantly defended by the Austrian, and Real Madrid come away with it. Stays nothing each. It's Luka Modric firing it forward to Vinny Jr. up against Carter Vickers on the near side. Steps in field, rolls it to Benzema, works the 1-2 back with Vinicius Jr. left hand side of the Celtic box. He's inside it now. Delicate chip ball for Benzema, tries to volley it goalwards, breaks to Modric. His effort cut out by Jens. Now it's with Vinny Jr. still alive here for the holders. He's now taking on Juranovic, dancing into the box. Couldn't get away from Abada though, as well, helping out his teammate on this side of the Celtic defence, and Juranovic with his clearance isn't decisive. Tchouameni moving it back out to this left-hand side for Mendy, who finds Kroos. Now it's with Tchouameni, and he shifts it to Valverde. He then plays it to Toni Kroos. Celtic lived a little bit dangerously just a moment or two ago, and it was well carved open there by Benzema and Vinny Jr. initially, as Modric moves it into the middle of the pitch here. Tchouameni, it's a chip ball, looking for Carvajal on the right, cut out by Taylor, he clears. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0.
Yeah, brilliant play from both teams. You've got to say, Celtic initially round the edge of the box, making a little 1-2, and just didn't fall for Giakoumakis in the box. But how quickly did Real Madrid counter-attack then? Modric settling the ball, and then link-up play between...
Oh, look at this now. Benzema looking to get onto the back heel from Vinicius Jr. It's going to go out for a Real Madrid corner. This is their first of the evening, 12 minutes in on Matchday 1 in the UEFA Champions League. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0. Celtic playing their first Champions League match since December 2017. That was a home defeat to Anderlecht, as they look to try and keep the holders at bay here. In-swinging corner from Toni Kroos coming up as he sizes up the Celtic box, right-footed. It's a deep one to the back end of the area. It was a whistle from the referee which stops that, and Celtic have a quick free kick which is eventually fallen at the feet of O'Reilly, who rolls it out to Jota on the far side, firing it forward. Abada could be in here. Abada is in here. Oh, he shot straight at Courtois. What a chance. He's in 2 in the game, but that should not have been as comfortable for Thibaut Courtois as it ended up being. It stays Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0. 13th minute as Vinny Jr. comes up the other end. Benzema at the edge of the Celtic box, stroking it out to Dani Carvajal on the right, as the ball came back the way into the middle for Modric. Now it's with Tchouameni to Modric, moving forward, changing pace, chips with the left foot out to Carvajal on the stretch, can control. Celtic free kick. Ange Postecoglou turns round. He's having a rueful shake of the head down there, because Liel Abad had got in behind Alaba. He could see the whites of Thibaut Courtois' eyes but he had a weak shot at goal. He's been magnificent in front of goal this season so far. It's Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0. What a chance for the young Israeli packet.
Yes, and listen, it was a brilliant pick out from Jota, and here Celtic on the counter-attack. I'll come back to you, Liam.
Yeah, Juranovic, he can roll it out to Abada on the near side. Abada, he's got that wrong as well. He's played it straight into the side net. Giacomakis and O'Reilly waiting around about the penalty spot. Jota to the left of the penalty area. It stays 0-0. Tested Courtois in the opening minute of the game, Packy, but that one there, he's in on goal. You're just expecting him to roll it past the big Belgian.
Yeah, and he can almost get caught in two minds what he should do. Do I had to cross the goalkeeper, go for that near post, and he did neither. Hit it straight at the goalkeeper. And when you consider how he finished at the weekend against Rangers, and that's a couple of opportunities had now, but they're making opportunities, which is a good thing. You can see the class of Real Madrid when they get on the ball, their control, and then on the counter-attack, lightning. But Celtic, on the other hand, also have got created really good chances. And I was going to go back to, the pass. Here's a chance from Celtic again.
No time to breathe, Packy. Here's O'Reilly. Jota was brought down at the edge of the D. The referee allowed play to continue. I'm not sure if he was actually going to give that as a free kick had there been no advantage for Celtic there. Real Madrid have got it back, and it's picked up by Vinny Jr. on this near side as he steps into the Celtic half and rolls it in field to Tchouameni. And then along the grass back to Vinicius Jr., who tries to clip it forward, looking for Benzema. Cut out by the header, Carter Vickers. Cushion, calm header to Juranovic. And into the midfield for Hatate. Bang on 15 minutes at Celtic Park. It remains goalless on Matchday 1.
And how quickly has that gone by? And the chances that's been created. And in this game, the tempo's good, the quality's good on the pitch. Both teams have got ability in that front area of the pitch to really hurt each other, and Celtic have had the better chances, but I think Real Madrid, they do look really dangerous also. Celtic just need to get that first goal and then hope to see the reaction of the crowd, and maybe Real Madrid panic a little bit to go a goal down, but so far they've been unable to get it. Chances fallen to Abada, really good chances.
It's been some serious encouragement for the Celtic supporters as the long ball comes forward. Giacomakis, the defender, holding him down. Goes Giacomakis in the box. Referee isn't interested, but remember, we do have VAR. Should that be required, they'll be checking that back. Not too many complaints from the Celtic players, to be fair. And there's a foul by O'Reilly right down by the corner flag on this near side on Mendy, and that will be a free kick to Real Madrid. Goalless, incidentally, in Eastern Germany. Leipzig, Shakhtar Donetsk in the other match in Group F this evening. In fact, Shakhtar have just gone 1-0 up against Leipzig in that game. So we'll keep you up to date as we go along in that one. And here, goalless, 16 and a half in. I think that might be Marian Shved who scored the goal, who had a short spell here at Celtic. Of course, they'll go up against him and the Shakhtar Donetsk teammates in Warsaw next week. 0-0. Not too many of Giacomakis' teammates were complaining when that penalty appeal was falling on deaf ears there.
Yeah, he got himself into a great position. He got on the right side of the defender. The defender initially put his arms on his shoulders, and I was looking as if maybe the referee might blow that whistle, but he didn't, and I think then he just went to ground too easy. But another moment for Celtic to get that ball inside the box in a dangerous position.
Yeah, this is good from Celtic. Here comes Greg Taylor, rolls it with the right foot to the left for Jota, level with the 18-yard line. Couple of step overs against Carvajal, gets the cross in, headed away by Militao. McGregor's cushion header goes straight to Kroos, who knocks it forward. Carvajal with a cushion header into the midfield, goes straight to Hatate, and now it's back with McGregor. Celtic fans fancy this.
Yeah, they're
Celtic players fancy it.
They just got to get that goal, that first goal. They have created the opportunities, but they can't afford to give it away. Like in the middle of the pitch, McGregor just give it away to Modric, and you'll see them counter-attack really quickly.
Those two were both on the score sheet in that game at Hampden. Euro 2020, Modric and McGregor. Modric showed us a masterclass that day in the red and white of Croatia. Here is Giacomakis on the near side, back to McGregor, brilliantly done by the big striker. Now Hatate, Abada wants it. Here it comes towards Jota. It was the wrong decision. He went for Jota in behind Militao, rather than spreading it to the right of the box for Abada, who's in again. 18 minutes played, Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0. You do wonder, is this going to be one of these special nights under the lights here at Celtic Park at Europe's top table?
Yeah, just going back to that moment that Hatate got himself into a great position between the lines. I don't even think that he was passing it to Jota. I think he just made the wrong pass to Abada, who made the run outside the defender, and it went straight through to the goalkeeper. But the opportunities are there for them, you can see it.
Yeah, they came through a tight match against Real Betis at the weekend. Did Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. That was their first home game, played their first 3 La Liga matches on the road because of the ongoing construction works at their stadium. As Valverde picks up midway inside the Celtic half, right to centre, flicks of the outside of the boot, a really good ball out to Mendy. It's level with the Celtic penalty spot. The boos and shrill whistles from the home supporters as it's rolled back to Alaba, controls with the undersole, crosses with the left foot. It doesn't find a teammate, comes right through to Greg Taylor, who wallops it forward with the left foot. Chasing after it's Giakoumakis up against Militao, who reacts well. Header back towards the byline. Militao's under pressure still, and eventually sweeps it out for a Celtic throw in north stand side. Jota's in a hurry to take it, and he's taken it quickly. O'Reilly in the box, comes off the knee of the defender and goes behind for a Celtic corner. Listen to this place here. 20th minute of the game, Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0.
Yeah, that was a chance, a really good chance. Good play initially from Giakoumakis, chasing Militao down, who has a little bit of pace, blocked off the goalkeeper and forced Militao to give away the throw-in.
In from O'Reilly, punched away by Courtois, and as far as Hatate, blast for goal! Beaten away by Courtois. Carvajal under pressure from Jota, who wins it back for Celtic. Low ball, left-hand side of the box. Greg Taylor waited too long, breaks to Militao, who hooks it into the north stand. Celtic test Courtois again. This time it's Hatate.
Yeah, the tempo's up from them, and that was a really good strike from Hatate. Just unfortunately, it was straight at the goalkeeper.
O'Reilly into the box. Giakoumakis, he's got his back to goal. Finds McGregor off the post. Off the post from McGregor. Courtois was utterly helpless. The goal frame is still shaking down there. The stadium shaking with noise and roars from the Celtic supporters. It is Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0, 20 and a half on the clock, and Celtic have had 4 pops at Courtois.
Yes, and a brilliant strike again from McGregor. So unlucky. Comes off the inside of the post and comes back away across the goal with Courtois beaten. Brilliant play, good set-up play from Giakoumakis to see McGregor on the edge of the box. Brilliant strike. And the only difference today is the ball's not going in the back of the net. And will they be in a position later in this game to almost say that they made the chances but weren't able to take them? That's the issue. But the crowd's up for it, Liam. They are in good voice. They've seen their team respond.
Here's Mendy on this near side, rolls it back into his own half for Kroos. Forward along the deck to Benzema, out to Mendy on the near side, and now it's with Toni Kroos left of the centre circle with a big switch of play left to right to Carvajal, who controls on the right hand side. Low ball in field to Tchouaméni, back to Carvajal and into his own half for Militao. Goalless, approaching the end of the first quarter of this Matchday 1 encounter in the UEFA Champions League. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0. Celtic done everything but score, but here come the holders. Valverde wide on the right, rolls it back to Tchouaméni, who works a 1-2 Benzema with Modric. Benzema loses out though at the right angle of the box, and it's cleared to safety by Greg Taylor, and out it goes off Militao for a Celtic throw-in. Yeah. Celtic are getting all kinds of encouragement down there.
Yeah, and what is impressive is that when they do go long, Giakoumakis is keeping himself really attached to Militao, and he's the one that he's trying to upset. He's given away a couple of throw-ins now, under pressure from that long ball that Giakoumakis has put him under.
It's pulled forward to Giakoumakis, under pressure from Militao, is still battling for it, but it's gone out for a throw-in to Real Madrid, deep inside their own half over on that far side, the northeast corner of the stadium over there, which is as usual as vibrant as it ever is That's played short to Xiaomeni by Carvajal, who clears with the right boot. Underneath it, McGregor. Cushion header finds Tatis at the edge of the box. Tries to force it into the area for O'Reilly. Great play by Matt O'Reilly. Couldn't quite find Hatate on the follow-up. Cleared by Carvajal. Real Madrid are working triangles to get it clear, but Toni Kroos has given it away. He was looking for Benzema. Midway inside Real territory. Tabada. Benzema does brilliantly to pinch it back for his team, though.
Yeah, but initially it was brilliant play from Real Madrid to get out of that situation. Good one-touch play. They're quality players, you've got to say.
Here goes Celtic with Juranovic. Couldn't quite get it through to O'Reilly. It's blocked to a combination of Mendy and Alaba. O'Reilly fighting for it, but it's gone out for a Real throw-in on this near side. 23.5 in. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0. Here on Champions League Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland, 810 medium wave, on digital, online, bbc.co.uk/sportscotland, and BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker. So many ways to listen to the programme, to listen to the action, and this has been action-packed at Celtic Park this evening as Kroos plays it short to Luka Modric.
This is a fascinating game, a really fascinating game. Obviously Celtic wanting to put them under pressure, Real Madrid, them trying to control the game, but Celtic, when they do get the opportunities, they're at Real Madrid's throats, and unfortunately they haven't been able to score, but they've made the chances. Really an incredible start to this game so far.
Alaba picking up on this near side, rolls it with the left foot, a misunderstanding with Mendy. Celtic throw-in. Carlo Ancelotti with an exasperated throwing out of the arms there. The Italian down below us, hands in pockets. Most of his managerial stints have been uber successful as Celtic come forward. He's not won here before, though. He's been here a few times with AC Milan, didn't win any of them. He actually lost one of those, Scott McDonald's late goal back in, what was that, 2007. Celtic have a throw up the pitch here, level with the Real 18-yard line over on that left-hand side. Greg Taylor over it. 25 minutes played. Low ball into the box. It's cut out. It was Taylor's ball, and it's cleared by Carvajal out for another Celtic throw. And they're taking everything as quickly as they do domestically. It's now Hatate's at the byline! Onto the side net as he pulled it back off the defender. Could have gone anywhere. Celtic have another corner. The Champions League holders know that they're in a game here, that is for sure.
Yeah, and that quick throw in again, it's working every single time, getting it down quickly, and the movement off the ball is brilliant.
Jota with the corner, swings it in. Courtois will hold on, no meat and drink for him.
There we go, counter-attack.
Quickly to Benzema and out to Toni Kroos on this near side. Here come Real Madrid. Celtic have been doing all the attacking. They've had 4 really good chances in the game. One off the post, Courtois with a couple of saves, as well as Valverde picks up wide on the right. Here come Real Madrid looking at all this stuffing out of the Scottish champions here. Rolled back to Carvajal, midway inside the Celtic half. Into the centre circle it goes to Modric, to the left of it for Kroos, who switches the play back out onto the right foot of Valverde on the far side. Short ball to Carvajal, who moves it back to Xiaomeni. Level with the edge of the centre circle in the Celtic half. Into it for Kroos. Spreads it back out wide right for the Uruguayan international Valverde.
Yeah.
Moving in field.
Yeah, just looking at Benzema, and I don't know what happened to him when he laid that ball off.
Valverde has it back, there's 3 waiting in the middle. Valverde with the overlapping Carvajal, intelligent chip ball. McGregor's headed away. Comes right back to Carvajal. Rolls it to Valverde. Real Madrid with a bit of pressure here. Kroos hits for goal. It's well wide though. He's going to put that down into the ground. And it flashes past Joe Hart's post. The right hand post as the German international was facing the Celtic goalkeeper's goal frame, and in the 27th minute it stays Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0.
Yeah, just again looking at Benzema, where he's kind of struggling a little bit, walking back. He's looking over the bench. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to carry on, but we'll see. It'll be a big moment if he does step off, because he is a dangerous player, but they've got quality on the bench to come on also.
Yeah, too right he is. 15 goals in the Champions League last season. He's scored 327 goals. This is his 610th Real Madrid appearance since he made the move from Lyon. He's played in Glasgow in the Champions League before with Lyon across the city at Ibrox in a 3-0 victory. That was a long time ago, in 2007-8 season, where he went on to boss this competition and others in Real Madrid colours. Here comes Valverde down the right-hand side. Real Madrid see more of the ball here. Valverde back to Tchouaméni, controls with the right foot, plays it short to Carvajal, who now finds Kroos. Short ball to Valverde, back to Kroos at the edge of the centre circle, to Carvajal, with Kroos again, and then he spreads it to his right for Militao. Everyone bar Courtois in the Celtic half right now. I haven't been able to say that too often this first half, which is 28 minutes old here under the lights at Celtic Park. Militao, forward it comes to Valverde, works the 1-2 with Modric, out wide right to Carvajal, gets it back immediately to Valverde, he's now at the byline, right foot cross comes in, well defended by Moritz Jens. Did well there actually against Tchouaméni, just at the right angle of the 6-yard box.
Yeah, this is a little spell for Real Madrid again, controlling the game, passing it around, good movement between Modric, Valverde and Carvajal out on that right-hand side, getting in to a really good position. So Celtic just got to keep their concentration. There won't have to be spells like this in the game.
They are making a change, by the way, Paquet, Real Madrid. Will it be Benzema? As Paquet was saying, seemed to be struggling with something as Carvajal comes forward. Valverde at the edge of the box, shoots, and it flashes just wide. It's a good effort actually there in the end up by Federico Valverde, who picked up just at the edge of the penalty area, left foot shot with plenty pace and power, goes well past, and it stays Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0, 29 minutes played, and it looks as though Benzema is going to come off. He's going to be replaced by Eden Hazard, who's barely had a look in since leaving Chelsea and moving to Real Madrid, one of the most expensive transfers in their history. And it will be Benzema off and Hazard on.
Yeah, Hazard's got pace, we know that, but that threat of Benzema in the box, especially for crosses that are played in from those little inside right positions from Modric, when he comes in between the centre half and the full back, where we know that he's absolutely lethal. That's gone now, but a different type of player now with Hazard up will probably just go straight on up front, and his pace will be the thing that the two centre halves will have to watch. But that was good play. Valverde getting into a great position, and the problem for Greg Taylor out on that left-hand side is that he's got Jota to help him, and Jota doesn't want to really come back and pick up the full-back Carvajal when he gets forward, and that just creates a problem for Greg Taylor, and it allowed Valverde to get into a great position, and what a strike it was, just inches wide. Real Madrid's best chance.
We're seeing Eden Hazard's one of their most expensive signings. He is their most expensive signing ever. He's not had the same kind of impression as the likes of Bale and Ronaldo have had in Real Madrid colours after arriving for ginormous money. Since he left Chelsea, he's a legend at Chelsea, he's a legend at Lille in his homeland, not so much at Real Madrid, but he's on now as Celtic come forward, and it's Abada, 31st minute, 0-0. Abada drops the shoulder, right hand side of the Real Madrid box. His cross is blocked by Mendy, who clears up to Eden Hazard, who picks up just outside the centre circle. He's got that wonderful low centre of gravity, Hazard, and he's won a free kick off McGregor in the centre circle. And Ancelotti's not happy, he's having a word with the fourth official. I'm not sure if he's calling for McGregor to be yellow carded there. There's a Real Madrid free kick, 31 in, Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0. It's been a little lull in the game by virtue of that substitution more than anything else. The Celtic haven't seen much of the ball in the last 5 minutes or so.
No, absolutely. I think it was a combination of McGregor and Jens there that it was a good foul actually on the halfway line with Hazard, just to let him know that he's not going to run past easily when he went on a little soiree up the pitch. But good play from Mendy in the left back position up against Abada. Not alone did he put the tackle in, then he was able to get his head up and make the pass into Hazard.
Good play, Tchouaméni steers himself away from Hatate and rolls it out wide right for Valverde, who is seeing a lot more of the ball now. He's such a talent, Valverde, on that right hand side, low ball to Hazard, back it comes to Valverde. Now it's Modric with the chip ball into the box, comes harmlessly all the way through to Joe Hart. 32 on the clock, Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0 here at Celtic Park, with Shakhtar Donetsk still leading Leipzig in Germany. And it was incidentally Marian Shved who scored the goal, who didn't get a look in here at Celtic during his time at Parkhead, but he's just signed for Shakhtar Donetsk, I think on deadline day, and the Celtic supporters will be seeing him next week in that game in 8 nights time on Matchday 2. Tomorrow it's Ajax Rangers in Amsterdam, the Johan Cruyff Arena. That's a 5:45 kickoff on Matchday 1 in Group A. Sportsound will have that one live as it does here at Celtic Park, and it's Vinny Jr. out to the left for Mendy. Haven't seen much from Vinicius Jr. in the game so far. Celtic will hope that continues as Tchouameni collects right in the middle, midway inside the Celtic half, out to Valverde, moves it back to Carvajal, infield to Tchouameni. He's got an option in Valverde again, hugging the touchline on the far side, level with the Celtic penalty spot, rolls it back to Tchouameni, who in turn goes back to Carvajal, then back onto the halfway line for Eder Militao. Short ball for Alaba, who arrived last summer after a glittering spell at Bayern Munich, as that shifted to Militao again, then out to Valverde on the right hand side. They're still in the Celtic half, forward to Modric, he's got the captain's armband now, doesn't stick to him, doesn't happen too often as Jota goes down. Ball was won, says the Swiss referee. Celtic pick up the scraps in any case, and it's McGregor out to Juranovic, who is bursting forward down this near side. Back heel for Abada, who rolls it back side-footed to McGregor in the 34th minute of the game here. 0-0. McGregor into the centre circle for Taylor. Callum McGregor forward to Hatate, and then to McGregor, out to Juranovic. Infield it comes, Tchouameni though, gets there ahead of Hatate, and it breaks back to Mendy, who finds Tchouameni again, forward to Hazard, trying to hold off O'Reilly, good tackle. But the ball breaks kindly for Vinny Jr. on the near side, who scampers away from McGregor, driving at Juranovic. Brilliant challenge there by Juranovic to win it back for the Scottish champions. Here's Juranovic again. Looks at home in this company. Nose and green and white hoops all look like they're at home in this company. Struggled so often in the Europa League and then in the Conference League knockout playoff round last season, but this is a different animal these days as Jota comes down the left, crosses in, looking for Giakoumakis, headed away by Militao as Hazard's pass goes straight to Jens. Now it's Taylor to the edge of the area. Giakoumakis tries to burrow away from his man. Look at least when the corner, it's been kept in play by Militao, who's brought down by Giakoumakis. Real Madrid free kick inside the Celtic box. It's 0-0, just over 10 minutes to play of this first half.
It's a brilliant tussle between Giakoumakis and Militao. He's almost playing on him. He's leaving Alaba on this side, just playing up against him every time, and that's a real battle. He's a handful, Giakoumakis, there's no doubt about it, because of his strength in round the edge of the box.
Celtic's home Champions League record was always very good in the first few seasons that they were involved in the group stage. This is their 11th go at it. That goes out to Valverde on that right hand side. Yeah. Moving towards the Celtic box, rolls it out to Carvajal wide on the right, couple of yards from the far side touchline. Back to Hazard, now it's with Carvajal again. He moves it back short to Militao, stretches his legs away from Giakoumakis, pushes it out to that right hand side for Eden Hazard. Back it comes to Kroos, right-footed ball forward, Kroos to Modric. First time he moves it back to Mendy on this near side. Forward to Modric, stabs it out to this near side for Vinny Jr. Now it's with Modric. Back it comes to the Brazilian winger who scored the winner in Saint-Denis in that final at the end of May. It's now with Kroos, forward to Valverde. Under pressure he is, but he bursts away from a couple of challenges. Gets the break of the ball into the box. Can he keep it in play? He's got there, keeps it in play. Cross ball, too much on it though for Militao, and it sails over his head and out for a Celtic throw-in over on that far side. 36 minutes in, 0-0, and Postecoglou, hands in pockets.
Yeah, he's a danger though, Valverde, because he drifts out into that right-hand side, into the space. Obviously, Jota doesn't want to come back there. Greg Taylor's got to come in on the inside to cover, and he's got all that space. But when he picks it up, then he links up play really, really well. He finds himself in different areas of the pitch.
It is goalless here on Champions League Sports Sound at Celtic Park. Celtic entertaining Los Blancos, Real Madrid 0-0. It's Giakoumakis on the halfway line and then fired forward first time there by Hatate. Then comes right through to Courtois via Alaba. He's going to pick it up now, just to the edge of his own penalty area. It is David Alaba. Real Madrid cantered really to their 35th La Liga title last season. That was despite punishing defeats in the second half of the season. 4-0 to Barcelona. They also lost the City derby to Atletico. On to win the title pretty comfortably in the end up as Toni Kroos picks up and fires it out to the right hand side, but it's collected by Carvajal. Moves it infield to Modric, rolls it with the right foot into the centre circle for Kroos, and then he fires it out to this left hand side for Mendy. Up the line for Vinny Jr. Celtic are having to hold Real Madrid at arm's length a little bit here. It's been good possession by the visitors, though they haven't really tested Joe Hart as yet in the game. As Modric now moves forward into a pocket of space, flicks it with the outside of the boot to Valverde, wide right for Carvajal, back to Valverde at the right angle of the box, stabbing it forward, looking for Hazard, well read by Jens. Celtic clear, but here come Real Madrid again. Mendy out to Vinny Jr. on the near side, up against Juranovic, moving towards the edge of the Celtic box. He passes it back to Mendy, who plays it low, out to Eden Hazard, level with the penalty spot on the near side. The Celtic fans again booing. 7 minutes left of the first half. It's bent in towards the back stick. Carvajal back across the face of goal into the 6-yard area. The flag's eventually gone up over on the far side. Danny Carvajal moved it back to Hazard in the 6-yard box. The flag arrives belatedly, and on 38.5 minutes here in Glasgow, it is Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0.
Yeah, that's the danger area again, just round the back of Greg Taylor. And Celtic just giving it away there from Carter Vickers, but he won it back. A quick press from Callum McGregor, but that's the danger area. I've said it, and if it's not Valverde, it's Carvajal getting himself right up on the blind side.
Brilliantly done by Giakoumakis to win the free kick, which Celtic have taken quickly. Hatate out to Jota on the left-hand side of the Real Madrid box, looks up, low ball in, but it's too close to Courtois. O'Reilly was waiting round about the 7 or 8 yards from goal there for the pullback, which never arrived. It stays 0-0 on 39, and there's a foul there by Giakoumakis, who was returning, having been fouled himself inside his own half, as he brings Hazard clattering to the deck. And Giakoumakis has a little bit of a problem down there, just in the wake of the foul on him just a minute or so ago.
Yeah, he got a bang in the side. I think that's why he gave away the foul himself, just to get his one back. And the other two players in the middle of the pitch is, of course, Modric and Kroos. Kroos will come from the left onto his right foot, and he hit that diagonal all the way across onto that opposite side, out the right-hand side where the space is, where Valverde or Carvajal is picking up. Celtic just got to concentrate, not get panicked when Real Madrid have got the ball, which they're doing quite well at the moment.
Abad has had two glorious chances. Hatate's had one beaten away from distance. Callum McGregor's hit the Real Madrid post. While since that, though, it's been all Real Madrid since then, without them really testing Hart, as Modric comes forward into the Celtic box. Right-hand side, Hatate for company. He's twisting, he's turning. He rolls it back to Carvajal at the right angle of the box. And it comes! It's been left by Carter Vickers, blocked by Juranovic. And it goes behind over on that far side. I think it's come off a... In fact, the flag's gone up offside. It would have been a corner otherwise.
Was it offside? I'm not so sure if it was. I think
flag was up. Flag was definitely up? Yeah.
If it was up, then they've given it away.
Yeah, Valverde, as McGregor wins it back though for Celtic, plays it off the Uruguayan and behind for a goal kick. 41st minute of the game, ticking towards the end of that. In fact, Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0. But just for a moment there, as though Jens and Carter Vickers had both left it. Nervy moment when it dropped to Hazard inside the 6-yard box.
Yeah, you may say good defending if he was offside from Juranovic, but it was a chance that he took inside the box. And maybe if it was the player who's just gone off Benzema, then it might have been a different story.
Here is Jota knocking it back off Carvajal. It's now with Greg Taylor wide on the left-hand side, back to McGregor, now with Hatate, and now to Jens. Celtic have put it up to Real Madrid tonight, there is no question about that. And here they come again. Juranovic down the right-hand side, cross ball's very good as well. Headed away by Carvajal. And Juranovic is entitled to expect one of his teammates to get their head on that cross. It was wonderful, right along the 6-yard line as Real Madrid get it away. But here comes Celtic again. McGregor back to Carter Vickers. Heading towards 42 minutes. Juranovic on this near side, smashes it low into the Real Madrid box. Drops to Kroos, who clears, and helped out by Eden Hazard, who picks up now on this near side. Looks up, left foot clip ball for Vinny Jr. Is he on or offside? He's onside. He's driving forward. He's inside the box. He's up against Hart, who does brilliantly. Superb from Joe Hart. Made himself big. Came out and met the Brazilian, who shoots straight at the Celtic number one, and it stays Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0. But those are the kind of positions that Vinicius Jr. consistently finds himself in, due to his pace, due to the way he can play the offside trap. As Hatate comes forward for Celtic. 1-2 with Giakoumakis. Hatate wide left. Jota with a step over. The chop. The left foot cross. It's deep. Giakoumakis rises. heads it up into the air, and Courtois holds on. There's a foul by Giakoumakis on Mendy, and that will be a free kick to Real Madrid inside their own box. It is Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0 as we approach 43 minutes. What a rock and roll first half this has been.
Well, that was a brilliant save, I've got to say, but it was a tight angle, but he was away. It was a 1v1. Joe Hart was at the edge of his box, dropped back into a great position on his almost at 2 yards from his line, and then came out at the right moment and spread himself to make the big save, a save that's so important to Celtic. I remember going back to watch Joe Hart play against Barcelona when he was at Man City, and he made about 10 or 12 unbelievable 1v1 saves in that particular, and that was a similar to it tonight. Brilliant save.
There's Callum McGregor for Celtic. He's inside the centre circle. We've got a minute and a half left of the first half. Be a minute anyway added on because of the substitution. Karim Benzema being forced off as it drops to Carter Vickers to the edge of his own box. Yeah, Courtois has been busy as well. He made some world-class saves in the Champions League final. A couple from Salah, one from Mane in particular, as that long ball taken down on the chest by Jota. He's beaten Carvajal to it, but again the flag goes up on the near side. Jota offside as we go into the final minute of the regulation 45 here at Celtic Park, where it is nothing each.
Yeah, I thought he was offside initially, and that's the rule, of course. Keep your flag down, let VAR deal with it, and then eventually the flag went up. But this is an important time now in the game, just before half-time. Always important for me to make sure you don't lose anything in one way when you've a defensive mind on, but in an attacking way you want to try to get something to get inside the dressing room.
It's what the 10 Premiership clubs out with Celtic and Rangers all hope to guard against at the tail end of halves of football, and that's exactly the mentality Celtic will have in the Champions League going up against the Galacticos of Real Madrid. Although they've had the better chances of the Scottish champions in this first half. As we head towards the injury time, the fourth official does have the board in his hand, so there will be at least 1 minute added on at the end here.
I think both teams would be happy to get in 0-0 at this stage, considering the chances at both ends, and to get a breather actually also.
Here comes Carvajal, though. Celtic have to watch what they're doing here. It's Hazard who moves it out to the left-hand side for Vinicius Junior, who shoots straight at Joe Hart. 1 minute added on as the Celtic goalkeeper holds on to that comfortably in the end, and it stays Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0. Here's Neil Abada, who's had two glorious opportunities in the game, but he loses out to Toni Kroos on this near side. We're into that 1 minute of injury time added on at the end of the first half here, and what a first half it has been. It's been so entertaining. No goals, but Celtic have more than held their own here against such illustrious opponents. 14 times winners of the European Cup / Champions League, as Vinny Junior, who was the main man in the final last year, picks up. He gets away from Abada up against Juranovic now, decides to go back facing his own goal, moving into a central area now. Final 10 seconds or so of the first half. Kroos sweeps the play, switching it left to right to Carvajal, rolls it out wide right to Valverde, up against Greg Taylor. Valverde rolling it back to Tchouaméni. That I make it time up, and it is half-time at Celtic Park. Franz Postecoglou and Carlo Ancelotti make their way up the tunnel here at the end of a pulsating opening 46 minutes as it was here at Celtic Park. Celtic have had the better chances in the game. Real Madrid may have had more possession, but Celtic have played the game like they do domestically. They're taking throw-ins and free kicks and corners so quickly that Real Madrid are struggling to get back into positions. It's allowing Celtic to find gaps and find holes in that Real Madrid defence, and Neil Abada, in fact, inside 40 seconds had an opportunity which was saved by Thibaut Courtois. Wonderful goalkeeping it was. The next one on 13 minutes from Abada found himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper just about in behind Alaba, but this time it was a tame effort at the Belgian international keeper. Hatate and McGregor with a chance inside a minute. The Japanese international with an effort from the edge of the box, beaten away by Courtois before Callum McGregor thundered one off Courtois' post. Karim Benzema had to go off injured round about the half-hour mark as well, as Real Madrid struggled to test Joe Hart, and it wasn't until the end of the first half, when Vinny Junior tested the former England international a couple of times, that he was called into action. But all in all, Ange Postecoglou and his players have been as good as their word. They said they'd come out tonight and have a go. Well, they have had a go, and they're actually unlucky to not be ahead, and unlucky to not have scored a couple of goals in this first half on match day 1 in Group F of the UEFA Champions League, where it is Celtic 0, the holders Real Madrid 0.
Celtic in the Champions League.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
In the other game in the group, it's Leipzig 0, Shakhtar Donetsk 1 at half-time. As Liam said, the former Celtic player, briefly, Celtic player Marian Shved, with the only goal for Donetsk. That came in the 16th minute. In Group E, full time from earlier, Dinamo Zagreb 1, Chelsea 0. Mislav Orsic with a goal for the Croatian side early on in that one, and at half-time it's Salzburg 1, AC Milan 1. Noah Okafor putting Salzburg in front. The Italians equalising through the Belgian Alexis Selemakers 5 minutes before half-time. Group G, a full-time from earlier, Borussia Dortmund 3-0 winners against Copenhagen. Marco Reus, Rafael Guerreiro, and then 7 minutes from the end, Jude Bellingham, and it's Sevilla 0, Manchester City 1. Erling Haaland, who else? Already into double figures, of course, for the season. Group H, just confirmed at half-time, Paris Saint-Germain 2, Juventus 0. A double in the opening quarter of the game from Kylian Mbappe. And it's Benfica 0, Maccabi Haifa 0. That's still playing, showing the 5th minute of stoppage time in that one. But all but there. The other game without a goal, the one here at Celtic Park. And actually, when you consider the chances that have been created, the efforts that we've seen, Tom English, it's a major surprise that it's still goalless, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Celtic have had the better chances, without doubt. I think they've been magnificent, Richard. I think they're absolutely magnificent. They've played with the confidence, with the speed that they play against the Scottish Premiership team. They haven't altered their game at all to kind of take account of the opposition they've been playing. They're playing with the same confidence, the same ambition, creating a lot of chances. They should have scored at least once. McGregor's thumped one off the woodwork. Abada, I think, maybe got a little bit spooked when he's 1-on-1. That's against Rangers or anybody else. I think he scores.
I must admit, that absolutely crossed my mind. He's actually looked a bit spooked throughout, hasn't he? He just wasn't quite given what we've seen from him in domestic matches.
He's playing the biggest game of his life.
Aye, but he's still running through clear and goal. And in the second effort, and as you see, if that's against Dundee United, as he's proved, if it's against various other teams,
we can't see inside his head. But yeah, you'd back him. On what we know about him, you'd back him in those situations. Absolutely, you would. But I think Celtic, their tenacity, their concentration levels, their discipline, their speed on the break has been top notch.
It's been brilliant watching them take these quick throw-ins, hasn't it?
Quick throw-ins.
Them out time after time.
They're catching Real Madrid out here with the speed of their movement, speed of their thought. And Real Madrid have coming into it. They've shown bits and pieces. Vinicius Junior, they had a great chance. Joe Hart was up to it. I think Celtic have defended by and large really, really well. I think Moritz Jens has played superbly at the heart of the defence. And Celtic are looking really good. They're going toe-to-toe here against the best team in Europe. And they are not looking out of place at all. In fact, I think if anything, they should be ahead in this game.
Oh, they should be. I mean, the McGregor strike was absolutely
so pure. It was Courtois, so pure.
It rooted to the spot. You just saw him glance round to his right. Yeah. He's given up on that. And for it to hit the inside of the post and come back out again,
it was so unlucky.
Cruel.
It was so unlucky. But the crowd are obviously loving it. We're loving it. It's a terrific game. It's an intriguing game. But I'm just really taken with Celtics, the maturity of their performance, and not for 1 second have they been overawed. They came out of the traps flying. 2 corners inside a minute. Brilliant chance inside 30 seconds. This is not a team who's feeling their way into this game against Real Madrid. They came out and went for the jugular from the get-go.
Yeah, and Tom said very nearly scoring the opening minute. I think we initially felt there was a save from Courtois. I think it may have actually been a deflection of Militao, who had come across to cover for that one. But there were definitely opportunities there after Abada in the Hatate volley. McGregor's magnificent strike, and then even the Hatate cutback over on the left side there, which took a deflection. Just for a moment you thought, gosh, is that going goalwards? They haven't created an awful lot since then, but they've stayed very much in the game. They have had to defend a bit. They've scary moments perhaps from Real Madrid, but you were always going to get those spells.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I thought Real Madrid would create more. Now they had a really good chance from Vinicius Junior. They've and Hart has done his stuff. They've looked threatening. They're just sumptuous, some of the passing that they're putting together. But Celtic there's a wall of green and white jerseys in front of these Real Madrid players, and as good as they are, they're finding it hard to penetrate that. So the work rate from Celtic is fantastic, as well as the quality. When they get on the ball, they're not afraid to play. You know, you look at some of the Celtic performances going back, a little bit intimidated against the PSGs and the Barcelonas. Even the night they beat Barcelona, which was one of their great nights, they survived on scraps. They're not surviving on scraps tonight.
No,
they're drawing the game, but they are very much the equal of Real Madrid, if not better actually, than Real Madrid in the first 45.
It's been a joy to watch. It's been so exciting. Pat Bonner was up at about 3 o'clock this morning because he was just on a bag of nerves of excitement and anticipation ahead of this one. Has it lived up to your hopes, your dreams?
Yes, so it's quality. Watching, and Tom's right in the way he describes Celtic have been really good. They haven't gone back from what we witnessed against Rangers or even at the start of the season, so that intensity was still there. What I've liked today about them is that they had to defend in numbers and defend at times, especially down that Real Madrid's right-hand side where Valverde had a lot of space. Caraval's getting himself forward into good positions. They'll get in a few times, but at that part of the game also they have to concentrate and really work at when a good Real Madrid team is going to have times in the game where they're going to have lots of possession and keep you working and waiting for them with Modric in the middle of the pitch and Toni Kroos with those diagonals. They're going to cut you up, but you've got to then really just and defend the middle of the box, and that was absolutely crucial. I don't know whether the one that Hazard was he offside.
I know Liam said he thought the flag went up. I thought he just put it up for a goal kick. I didn't.
Yeah, I thought that myself.
See the signal for offside.
If he didn't, then Juranovic got caught a little bit. If he was offside, it was good defended. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we've not seen. We've not seen replays. I don't know if the production team have seen that, but if it wasn't offside, then it is the chance of the game, and it maybe sums up why Eden Hazard hasn't made the kind of impression at Real Madrid. Is he clearly made it? I was watching him as he came on there. That final season at Chelsea, he was the best player in the world.
And he's got huge pace. He's a bit like obviously Vinicius Junior in his left-hand side. You can't take a chance on him. He plays on your shoulder. He is so quick.
There was a point about 20 minutes in where Real began to break, and he was down below us, Vinicius Junior. So that's about 25 yards inside his own half. The acceleration off the ball as he raced away from 3 Celtic players. An inch perfect little chip over the top. It didn't come to anything, thankfully, but a real example in that moment.
Yeah, I suppose the disappointment in this game from Celtic was that they haven't scored. They have created chances. In games like this, when you get the chances, you've got to at least put one of them away to give yourself, because you can see this Real Madrid team getting an opportunity like they had when Joe Hart made the save. They'll get something in the game where and then they can walk away and they go, we've won 1-0.
It'd be interesting to be in the dressing room at Celtic to see what the kind of things that they're saying. Are they disappointed that they're not ahead against Real Madrid? You know, I think the mindset of this team has progressed an awful lot, probably even more than I thought. And they're probably going, okay, we don't care it's Real Madrid, we should be winning this game. So I think it's. And I can understand. I don't know if Furuhashi is on the bench because they can't get a full game out of him. But Giakoumakis is doing a shift. I think in the vernacular of the game, he's doing a shift. And very early on, it was a Real Madrid corner, and Giakoumakis nutted it clear. And at that point, I'm thinking, okay, maybe Postecoglou's put him in there because of his height, his physicality, not just up one end but down the other end too. And he is noising up this Real Madrid centre back pairing. But he's everywhere.
But you can also imagine later on, half an hour to go, that you'll see the reinforcements coming on.
Little fella comes on.
Again, intensity coming off the bench we talked about.
Yeah.
Giamakis really caught my eye as well. Giamakis, the attitude, the desire, you're seeing that in everything that he does. And I must admit, I mean, quite apart from the fact I want to see the Scottish teams do well anyway, I would love to see Celtic go ahead in this game and see what the reaction is inside the stadium and see how Real Madrid react to them.
Well, the noise level when they came out and when Zadok the priest was blaring was definite. I mean, it was real. It was incredible, even by the standards, and we know what this event is like on nights like this, but that was exceptional. And a goal, and we're back into that territory. We're back into decibel, ear-splitting levels. It's a great occasion. It's a great game.
Yeah,
it's a terrific game.
I hope that Celtic don't lose this game through a silly mistake or giving the ball away in a bad position or a set piece. You know, you want, if Real Madrid's going to score, there's got to be a great goal tonight. From Celtic's perspective, they'll take a goal from anywhere to get the crowd going, but you don't want them to lose it from that perspective.
So Real Madrid are warming up Antonio Rudiger pretty extensively there. I think we can be guaranteed he will be on for the second half. They've already had to replace Karim Benzema with Eden Hazard. Look, I know it probably helps Celtic in that respect, Tom. I was really disappointed to see Benzema going off. I was looking forward to watching him over the course of the 90 minutes.
So was I, and he didn't get much of a kick, did he? You know,
no.
Link-up play, but he didn't have any chance. And it's disappointing because kind of the occasion has been robbed a little bit of his world class. But from a Celtic perspective, they'll be glad to see him go, because I think you're right. I think Hazard has looked. I'm touching wood here now on Celtic's behalf. I don't want to be giving them the kiss of death, but Hazard doesn't really look this match sharp. Rudiger is an athlete, isn't he? He's an absolute athlete. Magnificent player.
And what he does brilliantly, and he did it for Chelsea, is he steps into midfield. He almost becomes an extra midfield player to dominate the game. And that's something that they might be thinking about. Can he get one of those centre halves to be higher up the pitch when they have good possession? That allows then another player to get higher up the pitch from midfield.
I think he got 5 or 6 goals for Chelsea last season as well. Modric remains just a joy to watch. He may not be I was going to say he may not dominate matches in the way that he has in the past, but I mean, he's done it. We've seen him doing it very, very recently in actual fact. But there are little touches, little flicks, and the awareness that he shows, the understanding of the game, it's phenomenal, isn't it?
He knows what to do before the ball even comes to him. He's 2 or 3 passes ahead. There were balls that played into him, and he knew that he was going to get closed down. He just flicks it over the player who's closed him down, and they're away on the attack. Even around the edge of the box, he'll play a penetrating pass, he'll lift one over. He knows where the player's running to, and he's got a brilliant, and he plays in between the lines. He's never sitting waiting. He's always on the move to get on the ball, which is brilliant.
It's lovely watching him, because he could have 3 Celtic men around him and you think, okay, you're in a bit of trouble here. No, he finds a way out of it. He's just poetry in motion. One of the great players.
Absolutely. One of the great players. Well, the Celtic subs out there, and they are just getting the call to vacate the pitch, and Daisen Maeda is coming on for the second half. It'll be for Liel Abada. We did say earlier that it looked as if maybe it was just passing him by a wee bit at times tonight. Maeda has a real attitude. I mean, we talked about the desire, the attitude that you get from Giacomakis. You'll get that in spades from Daisen Maeda. So he is coming on to make an impact. He's getting a hard time over his jewellery and whether he's got it taped up or not, I think, from the fourth official, but he'll be on for the second half. Here come the Real Madrid players in their black change strip, and the referee with ball in hand. The action about to resume. 0-0 at half-time. Celtic against Real Madrid. Liam McLeod.
Yeah, Real Madrid making a change as well. It is Rudiger, who scored against Real in this competition last season for Chelsea, and he's going to replace Militao. Like for like change. Maeda for Abada as well, and those are the substitutions. The 68th season of Europe's Premier Club competition, and the 31st, unbelievably, since it was rebranded as the Champions League. Doesn't feel like more than 3 decades, but there you go. The third meeting only between these two clubs. The only other was in the European Cup quarter-finals in March 1980. Celtic won 2-0 here, as the Swiss referee Shearer gets the match back underway. Celtic in the green and white hoop shirts, white shorts, green and white socks, right to left. Maida on for Abada, the only change for them at the start of the second half, shooting towards the Jock-Stein stand in the second half. Real Madrid all in black with the luminous green-yellowy flashes on the kit as it breaks to Hatate on this near side. Celtic with Hart in goal, Juranovic, Carter Vickers, Jensen, Taylor, O'Reilly, McGregor, Hatate, Maida, Jota and Giakoumakis. As that long ball for Celtic finds Jota's chest, but it just drops over the line and out for a throw-in to the visitors. You've Courtois in goal, Carvajal, Rudiger, Alaba, Mendy across the back with Modric, Tchouaméni and Kroos across the middle, Valverde and Vinny Jr. and Hazard, who replaced Benzema in the first half. It is Real Madrid in possession. Carvajal knocking it into the middle of the park for Tchouaméni. Midway inside his own half, he goes back to Rudiger, who won this competition with Chelsea the season before last, before Real Madrid dethroned them in the quarter-finals last season. Vinicius Jr. on the far side. Good footwork, good skill to retain the ball. Gets away from Maida, pushes it to Kroos, who now finds Tchouaméni on this near side as Real Madrid shoot towards the Lisbon line, stand off to our right. Both managers barely moved from the edge of their technical areas in that first half, and that's where they've started the second, which is a minute and a half old, with the scoring at 0-0. So Maida for Abada, Paki Abada, the two glorious opportunities in the first half.
Yeah, I listen, I think maybe he's just replaced him to get fresh legs on over that side.
Brilliant there. Giakoumakis, Jota pushing it through to Maida, back to Jota. Maida at the edge of the D, back to Jota, wide left of the box. O'Reilly hangs it to the back end of the box when it's controlled by Juranovic, fires it across. What a chance for Maida! He kind of scuffs it goalwards, and Courtois can't believe his luck. Either side, that's going into the net, and Dyson Maida passes up Celtic's fifth opportunity against the holders.
How ironic is that? The player he replaced missed the big opportunities in the first half, and there's Maeda missing an unbelievable chance, free inside the 6-yard, on the 6-yard box, and he hits it to allow Courtois to make an easy save. Great pick out, you've got to say, from Juranovic initially when he played that ball across the 6-yard box. Big chances, Celtic not putting them away tonight.
Yeah.
That could be a missed opportunity.
I was just about to say that. They'll hope that is not the case come the close of play, the close of business this evening. You see Dermot Desmond sitting off to the left alongside Ian Bankier and the rest of the Celtic board. They, along with the 60-odd thousand inside here, will have enjoyed that, as Rudiger pushes it short there to Alaba, and he passes it back to Kroos in the middle of the park, outside the centre circle. Big switch out to Valverde on this near side. Valverde looks up, slips it through. Hazard's beaten the offside chap, right hand side of the box, inside the Celtic penalty area, rolls it back towards Carvajal. This wasn't enough belief in the pass though, and it's well read there by Taylor, who puts it out for a Real throw-in on this near side. It stays 0-0.
Yeah, it was a pace of Hazard that time, beat the offside trap, and
there's Valverde, he's won it off Hatate, rolls it to Tchouaméni's efforts blocked by Maida, breaks out to Carvajal wide on the right. Now it's with Modric. Infield to Tchouaméni, his pass can't find Hazard's, collected here by Hatate, trying to dance away to safety, still under pressure from the young Frenchman. And it's still with Hatate with the ball at his feet, but his clearance goes straight to Carvajal. His ball in field comes bouncing off McGregor's head, he didn't know much about it. Hatate preventing the ball going out, does brilliantly well, finds Taylor, who finds Jens, who clears. He's going to come back at Celtic here. Jens has put it straight to his compatriot Kroos, who finds Modric, he finds Rudiger, and then back into the Real Madrid half here with Alaba over on that left-hand side. He finds Mendy, who goes all the way back to Thibaut Courtois. It is Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0. We're in the 50th minute here, early in the second half. Courtois with the ball out to this near side for Carvajal, who goes back to Rudiger. Short to the veteran Modric. Sprays the ball, what a pick out that is from Luka Modric, out to the left for Ferland Mendy. His ball in field's deflected kindly back to Joe Hart, who'll pick it up. And it stays Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0 here. Short ball to Maurice Jens, who goes back to Carter Vickers across his own penalty area. Under pressure from Vinny Jr. It's now with McGregor out to the right for Juranovic. Works it back towards McGregor. It's just overhit it. Tchouameni finds Modric. Given away carelessly by Celtic. Modric to the edge of the Celtic box. Rolls it to Vinny Jr. looking for space. What a challenge by Jens. Wonderful to win it back for Celtic. Got away in the counter here with O'Reilly. Cross halfway, right of the centre circle. Moves it back to Juranovic. He was under pressure. Here goes Juranovic down that right-hand side. Decides to go back the way as well to Callum McGregor. Shifted infield to Hatate. Ball looking for his countryman Maida. It comes right through to Courtois, who flops down onto it. 50.5 on the clock. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0.
Yeah, it wasn't the right pass from Hatate, but you can't criticise him for trying a forward pass into space, but it was just overhit through to Courtois. But yeah, you're right about Jens stepping out there to make a wonderful tackle when Celtic give the ball away in a bad position, and it looked like Real Madrid was going to really threaten them, but no, they're still in this game. They're in a good position.
That's right, yeah. There's Rudiger. How much Real Madrid paid to get Antonio Rudiger and David Alaba in the 2 summer transfer windows that have gone past? Nothing at all. 2 of the best free transfers you'll ever see in European football.
Better than a few bob in wages, though.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. It's all relative, Packy, isn't it?
That's it.
There's Fernand Mendy down that left-hand side. To France international, to the Brazil international, Vinny Jr., to the German World Cup winner Kroos, to the World Cup runner-up Modric. He's given it away though. He was the player of that tournament 2018 in Russia as McGregor fires it forward looking for Jota. Can't find him though. Thumbs up from his manager in any case, because it was the right idea. It stays Celtic 0, Real Madrid 0 as we approach 52 minutes.
Yeah, he's not going to run away though from Rudiger, who's got real pace and strength and those big legs. That's the problem. So you just got to keep the ball when you have it a little bit. Don't always have to go forward every single time.
There's Carvajal on this near side. Got it from Rudiger now. He's driving forward. Is Carvajal. Plays it with the left foot out wide right for Valverde. Can't keep it in play. That was behind for a goal kick as well. Celtic say thank you very much. Stays nothing each. As the clip ball by Hart comes off the head of Modric and out for a Celtic throw-in on this near side. It's back with Moritz Jens, who's on loan from Lorient. Already looks like a fabulous addition. I think they've got a buy option on Jens as well come the end of this season. As Juranovic finds O'Reilly in the centre circle, it's Hatate. He's spinning around, looking for an option in green and white. Eventually gets one in O'Reilly. Back the way to him. Now it's McGregor. Left-footed low ball out to Juranovic and then back to Callum McGregor.
He's always available, McGregor, and he's a bit like Modric in many ways. Always looking to get on the ball, creating little angles.
He's been 8 years in the Celtic first team now, Callum McGregor. They've even released a DVD about him. You know you've made it when you get a DVD when you're at Celtic. Many of these big clubs, as Callum McGregor comes forward and rolls it with the left foot out to the right-hand side for Juranovic. Right foot cross ball along the 18s, cut out brilliantly with Tchouameni there.
That's his role, Tchouameni in the middle of the pitch, taking over from Casemiro, protecting his back centre halves, filling in, and it was a great interception.
Valverde showed too much of it to Taylor. It was out off the Celtic left back for a Real Madrid throw-in on this near side. 53.5 on the clock, nothing each. Match day 1, the Champions League. Celtic go to Shakhtar Donetsk next week. Well, the match being played in the Polish capital, Warsaw, as Real Madrid will size up Leipzig at home on match day 2. Donetsk 1-0 up on Leipzig, incidentally, still early enough in the second half of that one in eastern Germany. As Tchouameni picks up on the near side, looking for Hazard. It's in behind him though. Now it's McCarter Vickers. Hazard just looks a shadow of the player he once was. As Taylor goes back to Jens. He rolls it back to his keeper, Joe Hart, inside the 6-yard box. And he clips it well out to the right there. Brilliant ball by Joe Hart. Juranovic, now he's bursting forward across the halfway line. Goes Josip Juranovic. Low ball out to Maida. He plays it to O'Reilly. First time was straight though to Mendy. He manages to get enough on it to move it back to Courtois. That was a pass back, wasn't it? Wag of the finger from the referee. He's got his right hand up in the air, wagging his finger. And Postecoglou's asking the question of the fourth official down on this near side. It looked like a pass back from where we were, and most of the Celtic fans certainly thought so. 55th minute, 0-0.
Yeah, he got away with one there, I think. But just come back to the build-up from Celtic. What I was impressed with Joe Hart, he didn't panic. He got good control, got a good position, seen where Juranovic was, and beat the press from Real Madrid, and that's the composure you need at this level.
Tony Kroos in the middle of the pitch, out wide left for Mendy. First time along the grass, back to Alaba, who finds Modric in the centre circle. Back into his own half for Alaba again. Giakoumakis putting pressure on as it breaks to Mendy. Now it's Alaba, has to go back to his keeper with Maida in close attendance. Now with Courtois, who decides to turn away from Maida and roll it out to Rudiger on this near side, out to the touchline for Carvajal, into Modric, who flips it forward for Valverde, does well to flick it onto the chest of Hazard. Now it's back with Federico Valverde, who's now driving forward, right hand side, an early ball into the box, chance for Vinny Jr. Goal! The champions of the Champions League show why they won the title last season. A lightning counter-attack, and Celtic have been breached here. The man who scored the winner in Saint-Denis in last season's final against Liverpool slots it home calmly into the bottom right corner of the net. What a run and pass it was by Valverde as well to unlock the Celtic defence. It's the combination that won them this competition last season. A goal similar to the goal that won them this competition last season. And it is Celtic 0, Real Madrid 1. Heartache for the Scottish champions.
It was a wonderful goal, brilliant goal. Worked it from their own edge of their own area down this right-hand side. Didn't panic, passed it along. Modric then with the ball up. Valverde with a flick into Hazard, back to Valverde, and then you can see it getting his head up, and a brilliant ball across the penalty spot to pick out Vinicius Jr., who was coming on the left-hand side unmarked to stick in the back of the net. From one end to the other, Celtic not touching the ball, and a brilliant finish.
Well, there's not much you can do about that. That was simply oozing class from the holders. And Federico Valverde, as soon as he did brilliantly to keep it and play down here in the near side, he has galloped away from the Celtic defence. Early ball in, and Vinny Jr. was there, left-hand side of the box, to pass it past Joe Hart. We've seen him score. If you watch Vinny Jr., you see him score goals like that all the time.
Yeah, he's got a pace to get in, but also there's the pick out from Valverde. But the way that he worked the ball up the pitch was brilliantly. And no matter how much you press a team, if you've got quality players who can play the ball over you, round you, through you, you cannot deal with it. And that was a brilliant masterpiece from Real Madrid, I've got to say.
And by the way, there's been a couple of goals in that match in Leipzig. Shakhtar Donetsk had led 1-0. Leipzig equalised through Samakin, but Shakhtar have just a minute later gone back in front, I think, by the look of that. 2-1 to the Ukrainians in Germany. And it's another one for Marian Shved, would you believe? 2-1 Shakhtar Donetsk against Leipzig. Here at Parkhead, Celtic 0, Real Madrid 1. Celtic breached. And really, Joe Hart, a couple of saves from Vinny Jr. at the end of the first half. He's not been unduly troubled in this game of football, but he was beaten there.
He had no chance.
He was exposed by the artistic nature of the move.
Yeah, he had no chance whatsoever. Right into the corner, great finish, quality.
It's out of play for a throw-in to Real on the far side. So Celtic now, the first time this season, have to really answer a question asked of them. And it'll be important what they do next, just in the next few minutes. Don't concede another one, because Real Madrid can score goals in gluts, as Celtic of course can do. But these are an important few minutes. Just stay in the game right now.
Absolutely.
And you've proven that you've been able to get in behind them. You've been able to test Courtois. You've hit the post in the first half. There's still an opportunity for Celtic to take something out of this match.
Yeah, of course. And I did say, listen, I would be very disappointed if Celtic lost it through a mistake or through a setback. But that was a quality. That was real quality, I've got to say, from that goal.
Here come Real. Hazard, there's an advantage here. Now suddenly they're 4-on-2. It's Hazard, he's at the edge of the box, finds Modric, gets it onto the left foot, drops the shoulder, gets a second chance and scores with the outside of the right foot. A couple of goals in a couple of minutes for Real Madrid, and it's the evergreen Luka Modric who picks up right of the penalty spot. Joe Hart got a touch onto it, but Modric, who celebrates his 37th birthday on Friday, has scored Real's second goal, and suddenly, just before the hour mark, Celtic are in trouble in Matchday 1. It is Celtic 0, Real Madrid 2. Talk about getting this stuffing knocked out of you.
Yeah, a brilliant run from Hazard. He went round Jens as if he wasn't there. And as soon as that happened, then it opened up. But what a run from Modric too, to get up alongside him, to get himself into a position where he could see Joe Hart, check back onto that, and then with that right foot just bends it on the outside, right round Joe Hart, who nearly made the save, but it crept in to the right hand side, and that is Real Madrid at their best. But disappointing for Celtic to be 2-0 down after not doing too much wrong, you've got to say.
Yeah, they took a succession of hits in that first half in particular, did the holders. They've weathered that green and white storm, and they have taken a commanding lead and a real grip of this match. Match day 1 this season's Champions League. Celtic 2-0 behind now.
Yeah, it's a big test for them now. They still have to keep their intensity up and try to get something back out of this game at least.
It's down this left-hand side with O'Reilly battling for it down by the corner flag, but Rudiger does enough to force him to put it out for a throw into the visitors down on this near side. So it's a goal in 57 for Vinny Jr. and one in the 60th minute for Modric. And we were just finishing saying, Packy, how important it was at that point, 1-0 down, that Celtic didn't concede another one quickly, and that's exactly what's happened.
That's what's happened, absolutely. Again, you know, it's quality from Hazard, that pace, that ability. Jens will be disappointed because he stepped out and didn't really get a tackle in.
And McGregor's given it away this time. And now it's Eden Hazard driving forward, left of the centre circle into the Celtic half. He passes it to Kroos. Short back to Tchouaméni, holding off Giakoumakis, going down. Referee's okay with the challenge though. It's Hatate for Celtic. Can Celtic score and get back into this? Hatate rolls it into the path of Juranovic, who crosses halfway on that right-hand side. Misunderstanding though with Maida. Cut out by Mendy, who finds Vinny Jr., who's now driving down the left-hand side again. Skipping in field, option to his right in Valverde. He's found him right at the D at the edge of the Celtic box. Uses Modric on the overlap. Modric now level with the 6-yard line. Chip ball, looking for Toni Kroos. Headed behind by Juranovic. He knew Kroos was behind him, and he elects to head it behind for a Real Madrid corner. 63 minutes in, 2-0 to the visitors, and suddenly this is hard work for Celtic.
Yeah, they're just giving the ball away, bad decisions, and they've lost their composure a little bit. And we did say, you know, that's a test. That's one of the questions. Do you keep your composure when things are going against you, or do you panic a little bit? And that's what looks as if has happened a wee bit now.
It's an in-swinging corner from Kroos, which was almost turned home there, just on the 6-yard line by Rudiger. It was behind for a goal kick, and Joe Hart's taken it quickly. He wasn't far away, Antonio Rudiger, from getting his head onto that, as Maida, I think, is going to be booked here. Is there a flailing arm? Yellow card for Daizen Maida.
Yeah, I think it was the wrong decision also from Joe Hart to play it long, because he was outnumbered. Maeda, he had no chance. It was a simple pass to play it out here to this left-hand side. He's gone for the long one, and that's just a bit of desperation, probably more than anything else. But they just need to settle themselves down now. They've lost their way of playing a little bit in Real Madrid. You can see them just going now for the jugular to get that third goal.
Well, they're up against a team that's sort of club that's contested 17 European Cup or Champions League finals. They've only lost 3 of them, which is a remarkable record. And they haven't lost one since 1981. They lost to Liverpool. Alan Kennedy's goal was enough in the Parc des Princes. Of course, haven't lost a European final since 1983. Aberdeen beating them in Gothenburg in the Cup Winners' Cup final. When they get to a final, they generally win it. Celtic 2-0 down against the team that did win this competition last season. The two most difficult games in this group are the two against Real Madrid, quite clearly. But if Celtic play like they did in the first half against Shakhtar and against Leipzig, they are going to have a chance of getting through to the last 16 for a fourth time.
Of course, and that was always the case in this group, wasn't it, Liam? You know, this was if they got something out of this game, of course, it's a glamour game. They'll learn from it, but I think the other games is going to be the key to them in this group.
Leipzig are a good side, we know that. Celtic have played them recently, Rangers played them last season, but there could have been worse come out of pot too than RB Leipzig, who are trailing Shakhtar Donetsk right now. Here's Jota on this near side, rolling it back to Jens, left of the centre circle in the Real half. 2-0 Real Madrid, 65 on the clock. Celtic fans continue to sing as Maida gets it to Juranovic, back to Maida, pushing it back out to O'Reilly, but he couldn't find them. Now it's with Mendy, things that were coming off very easily in the first half, not so much in the second for Celtic. And is it Juranovic who's down injured, right hand side of the Real Madrid box?
Yeah, I think he's gone down fairly easily to it. It wasn't as if he got caught, I think, in a tackle, but he's maybe went over his ankle. He's back up on his feet. I think the referee maybe just panicked a little bit because he went down so easily that he thought it was a bad injury, but he's okay, he's up and walking.
Yeah, Celtic have been through to the last 16 on 3 previous occasions, beaten by Milan, Barcelona and Juventus in those knockout stages ties. And as usual in the Champions League, the top 2 go through to the last 16. Third place goes into the Europa League.
Yeah, you can see
knockout playoff round packet.
Yeah, Real Madrid are going almost now and cruise control a little bit. They know how to manage games out. They know what to do. They're passing it around, taking their time. Celtic just need to upset them somehow and try to create a chance because they're in control of this game.
There's Hazard. Flick out to Valverde on the near side. To Carvajal, who sweeps it towards the centre circle. Maida gets there ahead of Tchouameni though. Now it's with McGregor, left-footed to Hatate, back to McGregor, driving forward, good play, Callum McGregor, up to the edge of the Real box, out wide left for Jota. Jota back onto the right foot, he's had a quiet enough evening, Jota, back onto the left, a brilliant ball, but he couldn't quite find Giakoumakis, who was pushing his man, says the referee, who sounds the whistle. Free kick for Real Madrid, frustration for Giakoumakis. I think it was Alaba who eventually pushed to the deck.
I think it was Mendy actually.
2-0 Real Madrid, 67.5 on the clock.
Sorry, Liam, who came in and really defended stoutly at the back post up against Giakoumakis. Never gave him an inch to get a header on the ball, and he fouled him. But that was a good ball in from Jota. They just need some inspiration at the moment.
Yeah, tough going for Celtic right now. The final quarter of this game. The 68th minute. 2-0 Real Madrid. 2-1 Shakhtar Donetsk in Leipzig. Tomorrow, 5:45 kickoff. Sportsign on the air at 5:30. It is Ajax against Rangers in Group A. Liverpool also in that group. They are in Italy to face Napoli. The other match in Group A. And then on Thursday it is Europa Conference League action as Hearts return to group stage European football. For the first time in almost 2 decades, they're up against Istanbul Başakşehir on their Matchday 1. A big night at Tynecastle, that one. 2-0 Real Madrid here, and it is Real who are in possession with Vinny Jr. driving down the left. He moves the ball infield, picked up by Hatate though. Poor pass by Vinny Jr. that time, as Giakoumakis is robbed by Toni Kroos. And it's Real Madrid in possession with Ferland Mendy, who finds Hazard, who moves it out to Vinny Jr. on the left. And now it's picked up by Alaba. Now it is with Vinicius Jr. He's level the edge of the D. It's an overlap from Alaba, who can play that role, no bother. Left foot cross is deflected behind for a Real Madrid corner. And I think Celtic are going to make a triple change. And one of the players coming on is Kyogo Furuhashi. We'll see who the others are just now. Ange Postecoglou tries to jolt some life back into his team with just under 21 to play. They're 2-0 down.
He has to make changes. He has to get something going in this game now because they've lost their way. And Camavinga's coming on also for Real Madrid to shore things up in midfield for them.
Low corner passed back the way to Modric, now out wide left, Kroos looking for Vinny Jr. and then Callum McGregor plays it back off the Brazilian, and then there's a goal kick to Celtic. Hart took it too quickly, there was a second ball in the pitch and the changes will be made, and it's going to be the Real Madrid change first, and they're going to bring off Tchouaméni, the new signing, spent about 80 million euros chiselling him away from Monaco. You can see his class tonight, what a good signing he's going to be, and he's going to be replaced by an equally talented French youngster, 3 years younger actually, 19-year-old Eduardo Camavinga, who was brought in from Rennes, actually came off the bench against Celtic in the Europa League in 2019 for Rennes, and he comes on wearing the number 12. Celtic's changes won't be made just yet. Aaron Moy, David Turnbull and Kyogo Furuhashi are waiting as Juranovic plays it there to Maida, infield to Hatate, midway inside Real territory, forces it forward to Maida, has passed it straight to Kroos though. Real Madrid give it away. McGregor out wide right, Juranovic looks up at the box, crosses in, O'Reilly with a header which Courtois is going to let go behind for the goal kick. With Jota and Giakoumakis behind him, but his looping header was harmlessly wide of the left-hand post. Goal kick to the visitors, triple change for Celtic. Matt O'Reilly will be replaced by Aaron Moy in the first of those. O'Reilly was excellent in the first half, he was superb here against Rangers on Saturday. And I mentioned that he was playing at Cheltenham a year ago for MK Dons before a ball was kicked tonight. He must be shaking his head a little bit up against Real Madrid tonight in the Champions League as David Turnbull comes on for Hatate, and we'd imagine, and it is, Kyogo for Giakoumakis. Paki Bonner, 71 on the clock, 2-0 Real Madrid. Celtic changes.
Yeah, I think those changes are inevitable, and middle of the pitch obviously Aaron Moy will sit. McGregor will push a little bit further forward. Turnbull obviously play on the left of that three, and then Kyogo through the middle. I think Giakoumakis has worked hard. He put up a good shift in that first half, but his legs have gone a little bit in the second half. Let's see if this inspires Celtic a little bit to get back into this game. One goal, if they could get a reaction from the crowd, who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. They need to go up a gear or two though for that to happen, and right now Real Madrid playing their best football in the match since they got that opening goal, scored by Vinny Jr, added to by Modric, who scored in the south side of this city last June for his national team at Euro 2020 against Scotland, and he's at it again tonight. Loves the outside of the boot, Modric. One of those Champions League games last season, struggled to remember off the top of my head which one it was. A wonderful outside of the boot cross into the box for one of the Real Madrid goals. As the aforementioned Real Madrid number 10 picks up, and under pressure he moves it into the midfield for Hazard, who shifts it back to Alaba.
I've got to say, when you just watch Modric in the middle of the pitch, every single time somebody gets the ball, he's moving, he gets on it, he knows exactly where he's going to pass the ball to. It's a pleasure to watch his ability. Small, not the quickest, but ability is unbelievable.
I remember saying that exact thing when he was playing Scotland last year, but it's a reluctant pleasure, and that's what the Celtic fans will be feeling tonight as Juranovic challenges Vinny Jr on the far side. Throw into Real Madrid, level with the Celtic 18. Bold short there to Eden Hazard, who moves it back to Camavinga, and then he shifts it into the middle of the pitch for Toni Kroos, just inside the centre circle. He arches the ball out to Valverde on this near side. Carvajal for company. It is with Spain international Carvajal back to Modric, now with Valverde, and into the centre circle he goes, out wide left for Mendy. Celtic's second game against Real Madrid is on the final match day in the Bernabeu at the start of November. Flip ball from Valverde's popped up on the left, plays it onto the knee of Carvajal, who passes it back to Modric, dinks it forward there to Camavinga, who finds Carvajal, and then back to Modric. And this is a Madrid masterclass right now, which is frustrating for the Celtic supporters to watch as Camavinga picks up and goes down, fouled by Jota. Free kick Real Madrid, and it's about level with the edge of the D of the Celtic box. Right of that, 74 on the clock. Celtic 0, Real 2.
Yeah, just keeping the ball for fun. Every single player totally comfortable passing it around. They know that the pressure's off them. That second goal has taken complete pressure off them, and then it's just almost managing the game out from that moment on.
Free kick to the visitors. Kroos and Alaba are both over it. Kroos with the right or Alaba with the left. Joe Hart standing just off his goal line. Alaba will leave it. It is Toni Kroos. He side puts it square to Modric. He goes back to Carvajal, and now it's with Kroos, in the hope that some Celtic defenders will have moved out and created some space, but he's gone all the way back into his own half for Ferland Mendy. He passes it forward to Modric, and he passes it first time with the right foot out to Carvajal on this near side. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 2, and we're going into the final 15 minutes of this game on Matchday 1 in the 22-23 UEFA Champions League.
Well, you can see their mentality from that free kick. It was in a great position to maybe take on the strike or put in the box. They just kept the ball, and they've had it now since that free kick. 10, 12 passes. I haven't been counting, but it seems that way. And they're just toying with Celtic at the moment. Just can't get the ball off them.
Yeah, it's not been anywhere near as good for Celtic in the second half. They had their opportunities in the first. As Shakhtar Donetsk go 3-1 up in Leipzig. That is a statement. That's a big statement, because Leipzig, pot 2 team, Shakhtar 3-1. The head-to-heads between Celtic and those two are going to be huge in this group. Here's Vinny Jr. on the right of the Celtic box, though, dancing his way through. 3-4 Celtic players, turning, moving it back out wide right for Carvajal. Level with the penalty spot. Back to Modric. Again, it's the outside of the right boot pass out to the left there for Mendy. He's kept it in play, up against Juranovic. Level with the penalty spot, he passes it back the way, and it's Camavinga, the 19-year-old. Infield to Mendy, now it's with Toni Kroos, looks up, cross ball for Carvajal, he's onside, back to Hazard, 3-0, magnificent, absolutely magnificent from Los Blancos. From left to right, it's passed across Carvajal into the 6-yard area for Eden Hazard, who had the simple task of prodding the ball past a helpless Joe Hart. Almost stony silence inside Celtic Park. It is Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3, and the holders are suddenly waltzing to all 3 points on Matchday 1 in Group F.
You just got to applaud that play. Still, they have not touched the ball. I don't know how many passes. I would love to count them. They've just kept the ball, moved it through the lines, crossed the left-hand side, and then a brilliant pick out at the back post, and for Carvajal just to lay it on the plate. Unbelievable, you've got to say, from that perspective.
The number of times in his career, and Danny Carvajal, he's 30 now. The number of times I've seen, and everyone who watches them will have seen Danny Carvajal pop up in that exact area of the penalty box before knocking it back into the 6-yard area for Benzema, for Ronaldo, for Bale, for anyone who he's played with over the last decade in the Real Madrid first team.
Because the shackles is off him, because he knows that he can make that run, he gets himself into that position. We talked about it in the first half.
There's Jota though for Kyogo, forcing it goalwards, and it just goes wide. Clever effort, unorthodox from Kyogo Furuhashi. It's about 8 yards from goal, left to centre, and he managed to turn that towards the right-hand corner of the goal, and it just bounces wide, and it will stay Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3 on 78.
Yeah, just off his knees as he come on, as you say, you know, a player like him will think, how am I going to get that ball in the back of the net? And at that particular time, it was high up in his body, and he was able to get it at nearly on target.
It's disappointing for the Celtic fans now, isn't it? 12 minutes from time after a fabulous first half performance. It really was. 4 really good opportunities. On another day, the Hatate and McGregor efforts to the box go in.
They needed that first goal, Liam. They needed the first goal to get the crowd going, try to create a bit of pressure on this Real Madrid team. But we talked about before the game, pressure, they can handle it. But at least they would have given them something. Once the first goal, second goal so quickly afterwards, and then they've just killed it off with a magnificent third goal. So, yeah, you could say from Celtic's perspective that second half they've been outclassed a little bit, but in the first half they had their chances, they weren't able to take them. Big difference.
Yeah, huge difference. An overhit ball by Callum McGregor goes out for a goal kick. Real Madrid are going to make a couple of changes down below us. Marco Asensio, he's a Spain international, he's actually had a couple of loan spells away from the club, and he's going to come on. I'm not sure, is it Vinny Jr. he's coming on for. Indeed it is, and the other change will see them bring off Modric. He got that second goal, and he'll be replaced by Rodrigo. Luka Modric is getting a round of applause from the Celtic supporters.
Yeah, they know a good player, quality player, brilliant player, world-class player when they see one. Both of them coming off have been magnificent, so he's getting a standing ovation from the Celtic fans. That doesn't happen too often here,
Not
Liam.
all the Celtic fans. There's a few that aren't too happy that an opposition player is getting such a claim here.
Yeah, but listen, he is quality. 37 years old, ran the show in the second half.
I think it was Ronaldinho who got a standing ovation in the Bernabeu after a virtuoso performance in a Clásico back in his pomp, as Toni Kroos picks up and spreads the ball right to left to that far side for Mendy. The final 10 minutes upon us. Sad Haksabanovic is going to come on shortly for Celtic, the new Celtic number 9, his first taste of European action in a Celtic shirt. That's moved back the way to Rudiger.
Yeah, the thing about Celtic is that, you know, they have to get a hold of the ball, they have to control the game to be really effective in the way that they play. If they don't, it's really difficult for them. And this team they're up against tonight, especially in the second half, has, you know, they've had possession for so long in certain periods of the game.
Their overall possession's in the high 60s right now, Real Madrid overall in the game, as Jota crosses in, headed away by Alaba. Aaron Moy gets onto it, and he's done well. Cultured footballer Aaron Moy. He's found Juranovic, right hand side of the box. He pulls it back to McGregor, breaking the ball, finds Greg Taylor. He's done well, stabs it left to the penalty area for Jota, right footed over the crossbar from Jota, holds his head in his hands, and it stays Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3, 81 and a half on the clock. And Haksabanovic will replace Jota. That was his last action this evening. How do you think he's done? He's absolutely torn up the Scottish Premiership. How's he done in his Champions League debut in a Celtic shirt?
It's been difficult for him, and you know, to get into those positions. Listen, in the Scottish League, he's going to have the ball probably 90% of the time, 40 yards from goal, and up against maybe lesser quality players, but he's always creative when he gets into that position. But tonight he's going to do a little bit more of the chasing back, and then it becomes a little bit more difficult for him. He's got to get higher up the pitch, maybe travel with the ball a little bit more. So it's been difficult. There's no question.
On comes Haksabanovic. Did have a spell in Spain on loan when he was a West Ham player. He was at Malaga. The Celtic press Madrid, they're wanting to play out from the back, and it's now in the gloves of Courtois, who bowls it quickly with the left foot out to that far side. And it's picked up by Ferland Mendy into Camavinga. He's under pressure, loses it, gets it back though. He moves it forward now for Rodrigo, scored those two as late as you can get goals against Manchester City in the second leg of the semi-finals last season. He's lost it though, and it's collected here by Haksabanovic on the near side, brought down by Camavinga. And Celtic have a free kick about level with the edge of the centre circle in Real territory. Goals from Vinny Jr, from Modric, from Hazard. Real Madrid 3-0 up with 7 minutes to play here. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3, RB Leipzig 1, Shakhtar Donetsk 3 in the other game in Germany in this group.
I've got to say, the way the game was panning out in that first half, I didn't expect the scoreline to be this. I thought maybe 1-0 or so, but to be
it's what the standard of opponent can do to you, though, isn't it?
To be 3-0 down after putting in a really good first half performance is disappointing for them.
Joe Hart, short ball to Moy in the midfield. And Celtic will have to focus on that wonderful first half performance, which didn't yield any goals, and it's been to their detriment tonight. But they can focus on that, and they'll go to Warsaw to play Shakhtar next week with real hope of getting a victory. They've only won twice away from home in the Champions League, though, over their years in the competition. Victories at Spartak Moscow in 2012 and then Anderlecht in 2017. As Shakhtar go 4-1 up against Leipzig. I said 3-1 was a statement by the Ukrainians. What about that? RB Leipzig 1, Shakhtar Donetsk 4.
Well, you would hope maybe that Leipzig is not the team that would expect them to be after being 4-1. Now that's a big scoreline for Shakhtar. Maybe Shakhtar is something special, who knows? But I think Celtic do have an opportunity against both them teams.
I mean, a guy who couldn't cut it here scored 2 of their goals tonight, as Jens takes a quick free kick short to Carter Vickers, heading towards the final 5 minutes here. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3.
Did he, you know, is it that he didn't cut it, or he wasn't given a chance?
Well,
that's the question.
He was here under Neil Lennon, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers, I think, signed him, and he was out on loan a couple of times. He was in Belgium on loan, as Taylor forces it forward to Haksabanovic, left-hand side of the box, looking to give the Celtic supporters something to cheer. He shoots, blocked brilliantly at the near post by Courtois. Haksabanovic with a shot and goal. That would have been a real way to announce your arrival as a Champions League player in a Celtic shirt for Sead Haksabanovic.
Yeah, he got plenty of pace on it. It was a good save again. Courtois standing up at his near post, getting a big hand to it, but good play.
There's Turnbull back in field to Moy. Chipped ball by Aaron Moy, looking for Kyogo, right hand side of the Real Madrid box, but the flag's up on the far side, and Ange Postecoglou with his arms folded down below us. Difficult to know what he's learned from the second half here, Packy, other than he's up against the holders who've proven they're the best team in Europe right now.
Yeah, well, I think the goals that they scored tonight, Real Madrid, were 2 of them were sensational. One of them was a little bit more on the counter-attack when Hazard picked the ball up, but a great finish from Modric. So a lot of it was down to absolute quality from that perspective. You don't come up against teams like Real Madrid too often to have that quality that it can go from one end of the pitch all the way up and score a goal without Celtic even getting a touch of the ball.
Well, it looked like he was still in play down there, Haksabanovic, but the assistant on the near side had the flag up for a Real Madrid throw-in, just about level with the edge of the centre circle on this near side. Celtic only lost 1 of their first 21 home Champions League group games. They've lost each of, well, I was going to say 4, but it'll be 5 straight home games they'll have lost in the groups of this competition. They've only won 2 since they beat Barcelona here back in that season almost a decade ago now. 2012 it was. Next month it'll be 10 years on from that, as Kroos passes it out to Asensio on this near side. Final 3 minutes of the 90, 3-0 Real Madrid. Here's Toni Kroos moving it infield there to Hazard. Plays it low out to Carvajal, who's the 3rd to wear the armband tonight. Benzema had it initially, the club captain, then Modric, and now Carvajal on the near side. Into the box for Hazard. Now it's Asensio who shoots. It's held on to by Hart. Valverde was coming back from a looked like an offside position as it was shot there by Asensio. Hart holds on to it, and it stays at 3-0 Real Madrid as Juranovic gallops forward down that right-hand side. Out to the right-hand touchline for Maida, moving in field. Passing it to Aaron Moy. Centre of the pitch, midway inside Real territory. Finds McGregor, finds Haksabanovic. Haksabanovic to McGregor, moves it back the way, couldn't quite find Maida. Blocked well by Alaba, but it was behind of a Celtic man last to come off Maida. Last goal kick Real Madrid. 3-0 to Real Madrid. Yeah,
again, Celtic sticking to their task, passing the ball, trying to move it into good positions. But you see that they're demoralised a little bit. They expected to be in this game at this point in time, and they've been well beaten in the second half, we've got to say.
And the Celtic fans still making a den. They're proud of their team tonight,
absolutely,
despite everything.
And they should be. You know, they've had a wonderful start to the season, up against one of the best teams, but in a great
45
performance.
Minutes, Packy, there was an argument to say they were the better team.
Yeah,
certainly the better chances.
Yeah, they created great chances. Just needed to put one in the back of the net to really rock this place, and that didn't happen. But they stick to their task. They're still on the front foot, as you would expect from a Celtic team.
Here's Haksabanovic on this near side, up against Carvajal, just inside Real territory. Now with Turnbull, firing it back first time to Carter Vickers. He's moving forward. We're now into the final minute of the 90. Real Madrid 3-0 up. It's with Juranovic over on that far side touchline. Short low ball back in field to McGregor, who finds Moy, who slips it forward, couldn't find Maida. Cut out well there And Real Madrid come forward with Ferland Mendy, strokes it into the path of Rodrigo on the left. Now he's attacking Carter Vickers up to the edge of the penalty area. Rodrigo's on the right foot, shoots over the crossbar, and he looks as though he feels he should have done better there. Rodrigo, he fires it over the bar. It stays Celtic 0, Real 3.
Yeah, they just again on the counter-attack, 3-4 players running forward at the end of this game, trying to get their fourth goal, and that could have easily been another one for them.
Yeah, and here goes Dyson Maid up the other end. He gets the clip ball in, headed behind for the corner by Antonio Rudiger. Celtic finishing the 90 minutes on the front foot. They began the game on the front foot. They had a glorious chance through Real Abada inside 40 seconds of this game as we go into the first of 2 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah,
listen to the Celtic fans.
They're on their feet, and
Royce ball in, beaten away by Courtois. There was no offside against Kyogo there as Camavinga chips it clear. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3.
Yeah, and rightly so, because they're up against a great team. It's been a great night of football.
There's Turnbull, finds Haksabanovic at the edge of the box. The break is kind for McGregor. Haksabanovic, and it's just nicked away from him by David Alaba. Last ditch, fabulous defending, and it's come off Haksabanovic last and gone behind for a goal kick. Alaba's taken a sore one there. It stays Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3.
Yeah, he's been effective, Haksabanovic, since he's come onto the pitch, playing out on this left-hand side. Very, very forward-thinking player. Picks it up, drives at people. Got a nice little bit of skill about him.
Celtic taking on Shakhtar Donetsk a week tomorrow in Warsaw, and they'll look to register their first points in the group. That's an earlier kick-off, incidentally, 5:45 next Wednesday evening. Same time Ajax play Rangers tomorrow, live on Sportsound, as this one has been an enthralling night here at Celtic Park. But it is going to end in defeat for the Scottish champions, who eventually succumb to the best team in Europe. We're in about the final 30 seconds of proceedings as Asensio chips it back to Carvajal. Just inside Celtic half, back into his own half for Rudiger. He finds Alaba, he strokes it out to Mendy on that left flank. Infield to Toni Kroos, and now it is Valverde who picks it up and drives forward. Here he goes again.
What a good player he is, also picking up brilliant positions, and when he gets the ball, he is always a threat, never gives it away too often.
He'll beat the World Cup with Uruguay. Real Madrid, plenty World Cup stars, they've got Champions League stars, and that's why they've won this game tonight. The holders, the 14 times winners, the 35 times Spanish champions, reigning Spanish and European champions, and they eventually put Celtic to the sword in the second half of this game. Celtic were threatening to put Real Madrid to the sword in the first half of this game on Matchday 1. Real Abada passed up two glorious opportunities. The first inside the opening 40 seconds of this one. He was one-on-one with the second. Courtois saved both. He also saved from Hatate at the edge of the area. Callum McGregor struck the goal frame with an effort. Powerful shot from the left-hand side of the D. All that in the first half. Celtic just could not find the goal, though. That would up this place a level, if there was a level to go up, because it was raucous all night here. A rocking night in Glasgow's East End. They tend to be on Champions League nights, but Real Madrid proving why they are the champions, why they have such a magnificent team, with three superb goals in the second half. The first scored by Vinny Jr. It was almost a replica of the goal that won them the Champions League last season. Valverde on the right, low ball across the face of the box. Vinny Jr. on the left, stroked it home into the bottom right corner. It was a fabulous goal. Hazard made it 2, or rather Modric made it 2 just a couple of minutes later. Hazard making it 3 from Carvajal as the Real Madrid players celebrate with their supporters down on this near side. The Celtic players are all in a huddle in the middle of the pitch there. A 3-0 defeat, yes, but a magnificent performance, particularly in that first half, yes. And they will go into their other 5 games in Group F in great heart, in good fettle, because they proved in that opening 45 minutes in particular that they can put it up to the best. And Real Madrid are the best. It finishes here on Matchday 1 under the lights at Celtic Park. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3.
Celtic